Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We are back with more Transport Fever 2. Gonna hop right into it as soon as this finishes loading. And at a point, hopefully in the next minute or so, my dinner will be done, and I will be taking a brief, like 1 minute to go grab my food and bring it up. Oop, there we go. Game's loading. And then we will be all set for the night. Now, I believe this town has unlocked bricks. And it will be, I think, unlocking tools soon. However, for right now, I'm going to take a look around, see if there is a good reason to try for bricks here, since that's too far. Far. Oop. That's too far. That I can work with. So if I ship bricks up to here, they can get off at this train line. That will be, while not a perfect solution, it will be a solution. Now, the one issue I probably will run into, which I'm going to try to take effort to clean up. Cleaning up the roadway that actually gets there. We'll do that, even though we'll probably be putting a train line either on the outside or inside of that loop. What we're going to want to do is figure out how we intend to get the train there. Now, while I normally wouldn't do an ended line, for something like this, it is unfortunately probably going to be the best option, if that makes sense. If you look, there is quite a lot of roadway that gets about. Now, that is very silly. Normally, I would not even bother doing that, but I think, in theory, if I put this here, I might be able to take and intentionally build a weird little roadway. Quite a bit of money spent, but it is, at least in theory, the best way to do it. Now, main issue I'm gonna have is okay. That's that. Give me a moment. I will return shortly, hopefully with food. All right, we're back. We got food. So, you want to get train line going over here as much as we can. Now, I think what I want to do is intentionally do it in such a manner as to ensure that while the train is not going to be perfect, it will be able to do the things I need of it. Now, our biggest dilemma is going to be the fact that no matter what I do, we will end up going, I believe it's below 60. Right? So 66 right now. Bringing this down to 61. That's fine. Like, it's not, but it is. Forgot. Most important thing I have to do. make sure the track is doubled. There is that. Now, here is the big issue. Getting the track to behave for a out, because they can see it's, for some reason, worried about a slope that isn't there. Now that is something I do actually like. We're gonna try and carefully come in here. I think I might have to remove the road again. Cracks. Equal measure. The road. I go like that, it makes the train tracks do that weirdness. But if I come out, it's not quite so bad, so it's not as pretty as I would like. But that kind of would be a little closer to what you might expect. Now, we know we need to get the rail line coming through here. We do need to keep our stuff running, because it may sound silly, but if we stop running stuff, we basically run out of money. For now, we can delete that. We'll put it back in a moment. Now, anywhere we see stuff like that, now that says too much slope. And I heartily agree. Do that. And again, this isn't perfect because the rail line is going to be guess the right word for it would be bumpy. Also claiming too much slope. I think that's a issue with the roadway. More so than anything else. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually use that crossover, pair the roadway a little better. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. And that's fine. It's not a full speed ahead, but that is not really what we're worried about right now, because we are not pushing anything up at that speed. And we just take the road, go, hey, why don't you follow the train tracks? It quite literally followed the train tracks all the way underground. Grab that road, do that. And now, while it is a little silly, and I think I'm going to clean it up just a bit, does cross over the train tracks. Now, I will get rid of these. There's no reason to go down the tracks and then up the tracks and then down the tracks. There we go. While the roadway is not perfect, it does make it look a little better. We will come here because the road does get relatively close to the tracks. And we'll make it look more comfortable. Check our routes. Yep, wasn't expecting that to be our profit, but the fuel train and the things attached to it are. Is inside. Out from this end. Okay. Okay, so that would be quite a bit for that. Let's come over here, match it up. We're on the lower. remember that we don't want to do bridges right now because they are not great for speed, and the extra pay cost easily trumps the issue. Simply because at the end of the day, if you're losing speed, you're losing money, even if it's not all the time. Next, we want to go here and here. Let's see, did that place all the... Most of them it did. Cool. Go here, here, and there. And that will eventually continue there. The tools did show up, like I believed they would. Real question's gonna be, what's gonna be better? Stopping here and letting the standard train bring it back and forth, or making a private line to handle all of it. Part of me is feeling like a private stone train might be worth it. We'll do K, L, N, stone. Alright, for now. Once we start really going off the other end, we're probably going to have to tell it to only pick a specific one. Come here, because we need something with some real tractive effort. I think what we're going to do is 2 of these engines. Then a bunch of gondolas. Just under 100, I guess. Nope. Come here. There we go. Maintenance, very high, but we're also going to do a replacement on them. Now, it's a little silly to do a replacement already. But it does allow for the system to behave. I think one of the things I want to do that. Hopefully. No. Now let's go all the way down here. Oop. To our little stone section. It is slowly filling up. We'll set speed to normal. We'll eat some food. And we'll just wait. We'll see if this ends up bringing enough stone in. Good. I realized. One, have to set the maintenance up. Two, I'm pretty sure this steam crane down here, oh, it does max out at 60. That does 67, but nowhere near as powerful. So I think we are actually doing quite alright. But I think I noticed a small issue. I turn you around. Oop. Is that going to increase our speed? See, the problem is, might have to do it like this. Just to kind of force the issue. It's odd. I don't know why it's saying 30 or 31. Hmm. Wait for the save. Oh, it's 31 because the cars are locked at 31. Don't know why I was expecting anything different. Oop. Now we hit modify. Turn it around. Do that. Now you all look nice. Then we're gonna come here. Gonna say, hey, all trains. All trains. Make sure you are running maximum quality. So, did not have full load. This is going to be pushing a rate of 34. That could be good or bad. Find out in a bit. However, I do believe we're going to want to add a express offshoot for this. And because we are doing an offshoot, we'll do it for the non-express goods. My question is, I might have to remove that to add a new express. That's fine. That obviously wouldn't be because the road's there. Now, one of the things I might be able to do is take my move tool, go there and there. Say, hey, move that up a little. It's not great, but does work. I come, we'll say here. And pretend like I'm duplicating the... Come on, you can do it. I'm duplicating that entire thing. It's only 100,000, so I think we will. And we'll just work on doing a proper separation. I think this right here is going to be our little issue. So what we're going to do, come here. Here. That. And while it's not perfect, it's kind of like what some places would do. Running at normal speed. We're gonna come here. Go. Okay. Is a little slow, but if I'm gonna be redoing it, I've got the money. Might as well do it right. Oop. That brings us down there, so let's see how much of a curve I can get. Okay. So that brings us down to 61. I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna bring it all the way back to the area where I said I would eventually make a proper injection. Boom. Yep. And now since there is nothing that's gonna go on up there, nope. Wait for the autosave so we can push the train away. Boom. Back just a little bit. Okay, now just bring that there. Now the multi-million-dollar question is going to be, how do I want to run it? Now, my first thought was doing side by side, but right now, our biggest thing would be that would be our X's. Now, they're not terrible, but we would need to know which one is the express, which one would be ooh, the non-express. So, what we're gonna do, come here, on cleaning up the signals. Is gonna be a little bit funny because we're basically throwing the whole thing to chaos while we're doing it. Ooh, sorry about the cough, everyone. I think what I'm going to do is This side right here will be the cargo. Means it will be the one that comes off of it. Here, refund these. This. Oop, accidentally gut the line. Okay, we're gonna got quite a bit of this crack. The reason we're gonna do that we want to ensure our express goes in here very, very calmly. There we go. Now, it does mean that when we build stations, we have to take into account which side the station is being built on. Okay. Okay, that didn't work. Do is come here. That. Tell each of these that they're doubles. It isn't great, but for now, And I should look into making this smoother, make it look a little bit more natural. Just because right now it does look insane. There. Oh, boop, boop. Not perfect, but oh, I don't know if that's gonna do the rest of the signals because I did it during a autosave. Okay. Bother me that this is offset, so I will actually come over here and manually set. Okay. Here's the funny thing. I have to make sure I come back here and manually set these signals. Lock them in. Boom. Boom. Wrong way. Boom. Okay, so there's gonna be a few areas where the signal's trying to double. Not the worst. But they are mostly lined up, which is very nice. Right, we need to fix the RAM. Dang. Now that may not be perfect, but it is separated relatively nicely. And because we did put these crossroads here, our passenger train should shift over. Ta-da! See. Guy is not yet at peak efficiency, but he will get there. Repay all of our debt. And we do want to do auto signal off for this. I'll add an extra signal there. Make sure everything does behave itself. Auto signal back on. There we go. And at least for now, until I start upgrading this one, we are doing relatively well. Oof, we just got our better cargo setups. So, here's what we're going to start doing. Because if you look, a lot of our delivery lines are kind of sort of doing okay. We want to make that a lot of okay. Switch over to trams. Want delivery, mail, gas, food, delivery. Now, we will do this. There's what? 82 vehicles here? Replace all of them. With this is going to require funding. Quite a bit of it. But what we're going to do is we are going to increase game speed. Which should allow us everything we need. Now, if I do my math right, I should wait until I'm at 5 million to do the upgrade. Huh. Manage vehicles. I know we were supposed to be waiting, but we're gonna do. That's a weird way of that doing it, but by doing that in that particular fashion, it does allow for stuff like the bricks to be converted quite quickly. Passenger traffic has not increased that much, but doing a little bit better. So I think what I'm going to do is oil is going to get the first upgrade. And their maintenance is going to increase. That not only should help them stay general, but that brings the entire rate to 285. This, not even doing that. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to up our cargo buildings quite a bit for this. I'm going to come here, manage vehicles. Oof. How expensive are you? Guess we'll wait until we're at a cool 3 mil to increase that. Now, one of the things I can do, which I probably should do, is thinking about it. This is doing 168. I should come here and actually look at selling some of these. That was a problem. Didn't mean to clone. We'll clone exactly one of you. Set all your running costs very high. And now in theory you should be able to keep up. This food is doing 235. Right now, it's doing 84. Manage, replace all of them. Now, entrance. That. We're gonna do that. Now, theoretically, means some of the trams are gonna come out in different areas, which should allow for a bit of a cleaner entrance. Now that we're at 8 million, come here. Our delivery, mail processing, and delivery. You guys over, set your maintenance to high, apply it, And that should help process quite a bit more material. See, city does grow quite a bit on its own. I find it kind of silly that they built a second plant there, but not really a lot I can do about it. Now, this stone is moving at an abysmal pace. However, I have the money. At second, we'll let it run. At least for now, that's gonna pretty much behave itself. Now, that's way too much grain. Like, no matter what I do, I should not be moving that much grain. Because until I really need it, I'm not gonna say I don't really need it. I should worry about maybe expanding the train, stuff like that. And, just making silly things. Okay. Configure terminal, because we are going a bit crazy. Fortunately, like the most expensive way to do it, but need to increase my volume quite substantially. Now, our next idea is going to be looking at getting this city up and running. Now, yes, I'll probably be putting those back, but for now, I would rather see how this is set up to unfold than force it. There we go. Now, the other thing I need to do is figure out a way to get the station in here. And I think what I'm going to do is put a station right there. Does mean the train's going to have to slow down, no matter what. But I don't think I have a way around that. Means we need to start with a cargo station, actually. Don't know why I did that when I realized this has the slightly bigger station setup. Come into the configuration. And if you look, notice how it doesn't fit. We're gonna come here and just basically go like that. And we're gonna keep adding platforms until we can fit both. Platform. There we go. And that's quite literally all she wrote. That passenger building. Building. And we're going to do that just so that's a relatively big station. Come back for our platforms. And I want to do a King's Crossing style. Simply because I like the look of it. Notice we are chipping away at the mountain here. Be a little careful with it. Do that and that. We are going to come here and delete that. But the only reason we're deleting it is to make something balanced. Then delete these. Because I was recently shown that you can take crack and do your crisscross in the station itself. Now, I don't know if this is going to be all that useful. But it looks neat. And thinking about it, as neat as it looks, I don't think that's going to be favorable. Oh, do not delete that. That took too long to make. Part of me is wondering if I should build something just to make it look pretty, but like, at least for right now, it doesn't seem to be actually like solving the issue. If I'm not mistaken, yeah, that goes right through those, so can do that. It's not perfect, doesn't look great, but at least for now. Ooh. Not perfect. But it does actually have like a space set up for it, so I like that. Now, granted, there is no underground setup on this, which does drive me insane because, as one might guess, the underground would be the way to do it. But I guess I'll have to treat it like that for now. Okay. Now the biggest problem is crossover. Only because I fear end up in a situation where, oh, okay, I'm not gonna like look a gift horse in the mouth. I'm just gonna assume that that is behaving itself. That and that. Now the track is together. Okay, it's not perfect, but it is how someone would plan it out. I don't like that it deleted the mountain. Like, I came across that, like a tiny little tunnel and a deleted mountain. I'd actually be really annoyed. There we go. See, that looks a lot cleaner. I know what some of you are thinking. Why on earth are you doing it this way when you know at a certain point you are going to have to take and basically have these technically reversed? And to that I say, bit of a challenge, bit of a style. Like, I don't have to keep the speed at 75. None of my trains go that fast, but nice to be able to, if I could. Here. And we did pause, but that's because we are deleting roadway. And when deleting roadway, it always act with a level of care at least. Okay, why? It's really weird. Okay. This isn't perfect, not by any means. But at least for now, we're gonna come here, go boom. And in theory, that should line up those. Much better. And then we do it in the other direction that way. That's gonna try and line them up. Double slip that, yes. Because otherwise, that would be a problem. Let's configure you. Hit a little bit more track. And now, at least in theory, it'll center the train a little better on it. Now we come over here. That. 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 And that. Signal. You're going to manually place. Never mind. Yeah. That is an issue. I know I'm messing with stuff that I probably shouldn't, but there we go. Let's see if that's enough to get it to switch over. Yes, okay. See, knew I'd mess it up right away. Now, we can finish adding the rest of our stops. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do 3 on the left, none on the right, 3 wide, and trimmed out. And then we're gonna come here and configure this to actually add cargo. 3 out. That way, even though it's not going to be perfect, it is going to allow for us to add this. It is a circle line. Add that, add that, add that, add that. Just gonna do that little thing right there. And the funny thing is, because we did that like that, not only do they auto fill in all the stuff it needs, I can then come here, go, hey, I hear you guys need like this kind of service. I'm pretty sure I just messed up. Down. Building. Ta-da. Again, weird that it's doing its thing that way, but hey. Now, we will consider that golden. Oh, don't zoom out because then everything lags. Copy. This is going to be DWY. We're going to add a DWY delivery. Oh, here. That. Add that. And that. And for now, we'll only do 2. Make them white. Increase that. Toss them onto delivery. Now, everything kind of just works. Now, I know that the city is going to end up with a mission issue eventually, but we should be fine in the interim. One thing we want to do. Oh, hey. Come back down. Click on the right one. And do a double because it's coming here. But now I actually have to come in here. And set them up properly. I come here. I do a set of clones. Buy there. Our goods. Manage the line. Add a station. And then add a station. Not mistaken. That should solve that problem. There we go. Now it does reduce the rate because we've increased the passing volume, but increasing the amount of trains, we have technically made it more efficient. And then our next time, we are going to go here, here, and there. We're going to build a nice... I don't know if we're going to bother doing a train line. Like, we might simply stop and do it. But if we do make a train line for it, I believe I will have to find a good way to get stuff down. And I think this would be another one of those moments where I'll be using trams to bring the items into the city, where they will be spread out quite effectively. I do like that the mail has increased because we've connected more cities together. Let's see how our lines are doing. Okay. The inner city's hurting, and the passenger train is hurting. They are mostly there to pick up slack. At least for now. I was expecting these guys not to be doing great, so they're fine. These guys just started, so not a lot I can do about it. There we go. Oof. That might be... Yeah, that's gonna get changed, because that is such a hard dip. Like, that is insane. I think what I'm gonna do then is I can. Also, I never finished putting this back, so that's also a thing. I think what I'm gonna do is come here. That. in essence just this. I kind of like the idea of making it try and match up with the rail line. You need to be more careful with it because as the roads expand, they're going to get wider. Eventually, I'm going double lane highway stuff. And I need to make it so that I can do that with ease. And thankfully, expanding that has made it easier for this to behave itself. We don't need to double that because it is just kind of going through. That can be a double, and that can be a double. That doesn't need to be, and that doesn't need to be. Now, while it should never have to go on to the express line, having the ability to shunt to it is convenient. There we go. Okay. Manage vehicles, we are going to come here, come there, and we're going to say, hey, every single passenger tram, you're getting an upgrade. Didn't mean to do it that way, but hey. Work. There we go. Now, if I check my tram depot, those max out at 16. Those max out at 16. So they should behave. They should all be relatively nice. These put out 80 in terms of emission, which is a step up in the wrong direction. But at least for now, they are kind of what it needs. I do like that people are hanging out here. That is irritating. Especially because there's not really anything you could do about it because they're always going to be in the middle. I think what I'm going to do is come here. At least while I can. I'm going to make a special King Cross variant. Let's put these here. And it's not great because, as you can see, it puts brick right through it, but fortunately there's not really a lot I can do about that. Like, that is really nice. I wish I had a good look at it. It feels like it's a like end of the line kind of thing. So it can do 70 in total. That's asking for 80, so yeah, it is a bit overloaded right now. But it'll get there. And my question is, looking at the steam locomotives that I have available, any of these particularly crazy? Not really. Now, I don't know how many train fans are watching my stuff, but I'm sure if you're a big fan of trains, you can tell me what's wrong with this locomotive. Because this locomotive is doing something that, while I can't say 110% it would never do, I can tell you it is not something I think anyone working the railway would want to do. It is a bit of a pain that it does overshoot, so I might have to expand the station at a point. My question is, if I come here and I just make a cute little tank engine, maybe at some point I'll do an Island of Sodor playthrough. Because somebody somewhere must have made an Island of Sodor map. Yeah, it's a decent number of passengers. Let's see, does that increase the line profitability? Uh, that's now profitable, so that's already good. We're still at the bottom. because we still have not reached the point where we are moving that many passengers. We'll get there. Gonna take a little bit of time. Since we do have quite a bit of extra cash. Add another train. Set the high maintenance. Sure. I gotta wait for him to leave the station. Oop. Autosave. I hate when it does that. There we go. Okay. And that, in essence, has exponentially increased our profit margins. Hmm. There's everyone. God, I set it up to do that. I'm wondering if it'll be more efficient to take the whole setup and do a secondary external. Because that 18 sets of unsorted mail right there, 13 sitting there. Excuse me. Passenger building? Oh no, cargo building. Hmm. Oh no. Yes, we have to use platforms to cause it to behave. It does not care because might have to rip the whole station out simply because of the fact that it will not let me up the available goods. Just by putting these down, I should have increased goods capabilities. Yeah, this whole station might have to get ripped out. That's a shame. And on that revelation, it is our wrapping up point. Alright, everyone. We've had some fun today. We're going to do some interesting stuff next time. For now, we're going to wrap it up. Alright, everyone. See y'all later. Take it easy.